Today I am so excited to share with you some tips and tools that I use in my everyday life to help reduce and eliminate stress and anxiety. I don't know about you, but this is definitely something that I experience from time to time and have struggled with in my own life journey. So these are some of the things that have really helped me, and I hope that you find something useful in here for you as well. Also, disclaimer, I am not a physician, and I do recommend seeing your healthcare provider if you are experiencing any type of physical or mental illness. I just want to share some things that work for me, and hopefully you find them useful as well. So the first thing I want to talk about is something that happens to our physical body when we experience stress. And that is our body releases chemicals and hormones. One of those is called adrenaline, and the other one, cortisol. We all know the feeling of adrenaline, your heart starts to race, and this kind of fight or flight mode gets triggered within our bodies. Cortisol is responsible for shutting down non-primary systems within our body so that we can really focus on survival, because that's what our body thinks is happening when we experience high levels of stress and anxiety. Now, that is a great thing when we're really in a fight or flight situation. If I'm running from a bear, then I would like my body to do what it needs to make me run faster. But in our day-to-day life, this can cause a lot of long-term and short-term ailments to our body. Cortisol increases our blood sugar, slows down our immune system, as well as our reproductive system. So, ladies, if you've experienced irregular times of the month and you're under a lot of stress, your body will actually slow down your reproductive system and say that this isn't a good time for this to happen. We are under a lot of stress, so we're not going to give you a visit from your Aunt Flo this month. And so it shuts down non-primary systems within our bodies. And this can cause long-term health problems, not to mention what it's doing to our mental attitude and emotional well-being. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into some of the short-term relievers that I use for stress and anxiety in my day-to-day life. The first thing that I like to do is pause whatever it is that I am doing and take a moment to breathe. Breath work is such an amazing way to help reduce and diminish that anxiety and those stress hormones that our body is releasing. Breathing is such an important thing. It is the essence of life. And there's a lot of different breath techniques that you can use. One I like to use is the Wim Hof method technique, but there's a lot of different styles and techniques of breathing that work. Even if you just take some deep breaths and close your eyes, do some chest breath work, it helps diminish those chemicals that our body naturally releases. Another thing I like to do is ask myself, is this something that I'm going to be stressed about or worry about tomorrow or a month from now? And is this really worth what is happening to my body? And oftentimes I find that it is not, whether that's being stuck in traffic and getting anxious and stressed out, realizing, okay, I can't do anything about this situation. Tomorrow I'm not going to be thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got stuck in traffic yesterday. I'm not going to let it carry with me. So that usually helps me come back to reality and start to shift into a higher vibration. Another thing is interrupting the thought pattern or neural pathway. One of my favorite motivational speakers is Anthony Robbins, and I will never forget hearing about this story when he was at a seminar and had this lady stand up and start talking about all the things wrong in her life. And she just got lost in this negative ball of emotion and energy. And as she's talking, he grabs her water and splashes it in her face mid-sentence. She was stunned and so taken back and didn't even know what to say. And it was one of the greatest things because he asked her, are you still thinking about all the things wrong in your life right now in this moment? And she said, well, no, I'm thinking about how you just splashed me in the face with water. And it worked. It interrupted that neural pathway. Those neurons are firing in your brain and you start to spiral down. But when you interrupt those neurons, it helps you shift and break out of that current thought. I find that sometimes I do that. I'll be sitting there talking about how I'm stressed at work and things aren't going how I want them to be, and I'm not as productive or doing the things that I want to do, and I just don't know when things are going to get better, and I really wish that they... Oh my God. I can't believe I just did that. Whew. Okay. Well, it totally works, guys. I forgot that I was even recording in that moment when I splashed myself. So I guess you can do it to yourself. It doesn't have to be someone else doing it. But it's probably not something that you're gonna wanna do regularly. But anyway, interrupt the thought pattern, guys. It can be with doing something like going outside, going for a walk, watching a funny video, calling a friend. All of those things are going to interrupt your current spiral downward in that negative thought bubble. See? Interrupt the thought pattern. Of course I straightened my hair and now it's all soaking wet. I didn't really think that one through. I better get some likes out of this video. Well, now that I did that in the middle of my video, let's continue. That kind of ties into the next thing, which is going outside and getting in nature. That's something that really helps ground me and helps me shift out of my current negative mood. Whether that's putting your feet on some grass or just going for a walk, getting outside, going for a hike, going by water, whether you can get by a river or a lake or the ocean, that's always really healing. And those are some great things that I like to do. Playing with an animal. If you have a dog or a cat or a pet, whether that's yours or your friends, oftentimes when you play with an animal or you're just around an animal, they really help get you into a vibration of either love or adoration, and it helps you shift really quickly out of that negative vibration. I talk about vibration because everything is energy. And when you're in a low mood and you're feeling anxiety or stress or depression, your cells are moving really slowly and it's this lower vibration that's being emitted. But when you're happy and you're positive, your cells are vibrant and they're moving around and you're healthy. And so that's a higher vibration. So when I talk about vibration, that's what I'm referring to. Another thing that's really important is not holding in that anxiety, stress, anger, depression, sadness, whatever it is. Oftentimes us humans like to hold on to that emotion and push it down because either we're taught from a young age that we can't express ourselves and crying is bad, or you're just supposed to look a certain way and you can't show vulnerability. But guys, that's not the truth. It is so important to release and let out what you are feeling. So there's two ways that I like to do that. The first one is either to transmute that energy by going outside, watching a video, playing with an animal, doing something to help shift and transmute that energy, or just releasing and letting go of that emotion through either crying or stomping my feet and yelling, whatever it is, let it out, let it go. I don't know about you, but I always feel much better after a good cry. And if you don't feel comfortable crying in front of other people, find a nice little private space where you can go, even if that's in your car, and just go cry and let it out if you're able to. Stress is something that comes from the present moment. Anxiety usually comes from what you're thinking about in the future, and depression is usually coming from thoughts of the past or being stuck in the past. Okay, so now I want to talk about some long-term ways to relieve and reduce the stress and anxiety in your life and just assist with your overall wellness and mental well-being. The first thing I want to bring up is meditation. And I bring this up in the long-term portion because what I find is that daily meditation, even just 15 minutes a day, really helps make a big difference overall in my life when it comes to calmness and my happiness and not getting so worked up and stressed over little things and in the moment. And meditation can look really different for everyone, whatever that may be for you, but daily meditation and breath work is a very important piece to the puzzle for me in my life. It's already getting curly. This goes into the Wim Hof method, but cold therapy and cold showers are a great way to help shift into a different vibration. Just like splashing your face with water, how that cuts off that neural pathway, well, the cold does the same thing. Your body cannot sit and think about what has been stressing you or what's on your mind or you being sad. It instantly goes to, oh my gosh, this is really cold. What are we doing? We need to get out of the situation. And that's all you're thinking about. And it's really amazing, guys, just overall for your health and a great way to help reduce and relieve stress. Being active and exercise is very important for not just your physical health, but your mental and emotional health and well-being. Yoga is a great way to exercise, stretch, breathe, and practice a mindful activity all at the same time. And a lot of people get confused about what yoga is. It's not just an exercise, it really is about mind, body, and soul. And everybody starts from ground zero when it comes to yoga, so don't be intimidated. There's a lot of videos you can watch at home if you feel more comfortable doing it in that space, especially right now with everything going on. And so that's a really great thing for your body, for your mind, body, and your soul. A healthy diet and drinking plenty of water every day makes a big overall difference in your health and well-being. That is something that goes along with exercise and being active and makes a big difference, guys, because we're 70% plus water, and that's how things move and flow within our bodies. So when we're dehydrated, it's really easy to become susceptible to lower vibration, lowered immune system, and same with eating unhealthy foods. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found some of these tips useful. Please be sure to comment below and let me know if they did and if you tried any of them and if they make a difference in your life, as well as some of the things that you like to do to help relieve your own stress. I'd love to hear it and interact with you guys. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel for weekly videos, and I'll see you next week.